15 साल का बच्चा कैसे इस मार्केट में अपने प्रोडक्ट को एक्चुअली एक प्रोडक्ट आइडिया को आगे लेके जा रहा है।
मैं तो
मोटा
मोटू की तरह था.
Why? And you said you play football?
Launching the product wasn't an easy task, I can tell you honestly. Cost was a very big issue. There was not a cheap protein available and athletes need that protein. And they went on to win the Para-Asian Games.
अच्छा.
I think from there on I decided that I wanted to launch this and turn this something big.
कहाँ सीखे ये सारी टेक्निक्स? स्कूल में तो नहीं पढ़ाया जाता होगा यार.
So you have AI, you have such amazing tools nowadays. You have YouTube, you have online platforms, you have an infinite access to information.
आई एम श्योर बहुत बार ऐसा होता होगा यार, लोग सीरियस नहीं लेते होंगे कि क्या बोल रहे हो यार.
100%. That's when I realized अगर प्रोडक्ट है तो it doesn't matter my age.
ये AI ने बनाया?
ये AI ने नहीं बनाया, मेरी बहन ने बनाया. All the money that I get from Amazon, they go to these cloud kitchens and they feed around 600 to 700 kids.
करना क्या चाहते हो तुम?
I'm glad you asked. To help. सच में. सत्तू
यार ये ना सब
फ्यूजन.
बोलते हैं यार, सब बोलते हैं. हर एंटरप्रेन्योर यही बोलता है. विवान एक हाई स्कूल स्टूडेंट है जिसने अपने पैशन विच इज़ लार्जली पैशन अबाउट न्यूट्रिशन एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में कन्वर्ट किया और एक ऐसा प्रोडक्ट और ब्रांड बनाया जो कि सत्तू फ्यूजन के नाम से है. गाइस जब हम 10वीं और 12वीं में थे हमें पता भी नहीं होता है कि क्या करना है लाइफ में. एंड विवान हैज़ बिल्ट अ प्रोडक्ट विच इज़ पेंडिंग फॉर पेटेंट. पैरा एथलीट्स को सप्लाई होता है. Amazon पे लिस्टेड है. वेगन, fully tested, ready to rock the world in a competitive market. It is very inspiring to see such stories, Vivaan. आज के इस एपिसोड में हॉस्टल फंड में will love to hear the story of Vivaan, how he has come up with the idea, why is he doing what he is doing. क्या सोच है यार, मतलब 15 साल का बच्चा कैसे इस मार्केट में अपने प्रोडक्ट को एक्चुअली एक प्रोडक्ट आइडिया को आगे लेके जा रहा है. उसके लिए आई पर्सनली इज़ वेरी वेरी ओवरवेल्म्ड. विवान, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थैंक यू, कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस. यू हैव रियली डन great work by taking the first step. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. First of all, I wanted to say that thank you for giving me this opportunity to, share my journey, have this wonderful conversation with you. I'm truly grateful. And I think that throughout this whole journey that I've had, with SattuFusion, I feel that the first step was the biggest step. Yeah. And the fact that I was able to take that first step, it really means a lot to me because through my passion of nutrition, since I've had at a young age, I feel that I'm able to convert that passion into something tangible that can, I can turn it into entrepreneurship where I'm helping out others and not just through my product, I'm actually doing something with it. And I feel that, people who are at my age don't even look at this aspect of a product. They think of it in their idea. चलो notebook में लिख दिया, मम्मा को बता दिया, दोस्तों को बता दिया. But when you look at it and see that I've actually gone and published it on Amazon, gone and, made those sales, and I feel that, it's quite the journey and I'd love to share it with everyone.
Sure. No, thank you. And what an irony. You are saying since the young age, bro, तुम कभी खुद young हो. Young age क्या होता है? So let's talk about your young age. मतलब क्या schooling है, कहाँ पे पढ़ रहे हो, family background क्या है और ये idea कैसे आया?
So I study in the Sri Ram School, Malsari, and I'm currently 16 years of age. I just turned 16 recently. Wow. And I grew up, in a background that full of doctors. Most of the people from my family are doctors. Okay. And very scientific background. वो hunger होती है कि तुम पढ़ो. You got to figure out the world around you, that curiosity. And I think through that curiosity only this idea sparked. And ever since a young age, I have played sports. Football तो I have fights with my mom still कि मम्मा मुझे football खेलना है, पढ़ाई नहीं, छोड़ दो. तो I think that mix of that sporty background and that scientific curiosity, the idea sort of came into being. And throughout this whole process, I think what really matters is that you have a support system.
Yeah.
You have an idea, you want to make something of it, you need to have the right people you surround yourself with to make that idea tangible. And I feel that, the family that I come from, they supported that curiosity, they supported what I wanted to do, and they were able to provide me with, the right resources. So I feel that, they play a very important role in my life. and even my school, all my teachers still support me to this day. And एक दो assignment late हो जाएगा, I'm working on my product, ma'am please understand. So I feel that my school and my family really supported me throughout this. And sometimes I did face challenges too. मैं अभी बता रहा हूँ कि they did help me a lot. I did face challenges too. Sometimes I missed my assignment, sometimes I wasn't able to do well in my academics. And I gained almost 25 kgs also
क्या
during
बात कर रहे हो?
COVID.
कैसे? How
मैं
come?
तो
मोटा था?
मोटू की तरह था.
Why? And you said you play football?
So I had to leave my sport, and after COVID, getting back into the sport also was quite the challenge. And that's also what I feel inspired SattuFusion a lot, was the fact that I went from being, this elephant, as my friends like to call me, to actually, being back in the national team.
National means you play nationals for
India.
for India.
For India and for Delhi.
Wow, awesome. This I did not know that.
Oh, thank you
Very
so
good,
much.
yeah, very good.
And I just feel that that whole journey inspired me that मैं कर सकता हूँ, तो why can't others?
Obviously.
And if I was able to see that in others, I feel that SattuFusion is the perfect thing to be that tool. Because when you look at it, losing weight doesn't only come from har roz I went and trained 2 hours a day. It comes from the diet aspect too. You're looking at the nutrition. What you put into your body is what you are. So I feel that SattuFusion really is that tool to make that change happen. And I'm just helping people around, and that's what I feel really great about every packet that I sell. I just feel that someone is getting help.
No, I can see that passion in your eyes. I don't know our followers online are able to see that passion in you, but I can actually sense that, and I'm having the goosebumps. But tell me, most of times we see this कि यार जो सर्विस क्लास फैमिली से आते हैं, एज यू सेड कि आपकी फैमिली में बहुत सारे डॉक्टर्स हैं, तो एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप अपने आप में एंड इट्स अ साइड करियर ट्रैक बहुत आसान था, मुश्किल था, या आपने जब घर में बोला यार मुझे डॉक्टर नहीं बनना, मुझे अपना कुछ करना है?
So what I feel about that honestly is कि your passion is what drives you. अगर passion है तुम कर लोगे, पर वो passion के besides hard work होना चाहिए. You need to put in that time, you need to put in that effort. If you don't put in that effort, कुछ होगा नहीं. I can keep thinking about it day and night. मैं product launch करूँगा, I'm gonna do this. It won't happen unless I'm putting that time and effort into it. And you said that background mein, my mom is a doctor, I come from a pretty good background who were able to support me. I still feel that, coming from a privileged background, I was able to do this. Even if I wasn't from a privileged background, I still feel that, what drives you is that passion. And when that passion drives you and you put in the right amount of effort, anything can happen. Launching the product wasn't an easy task, I can tell you honestly.
How come? Explain that.
The sleepless nights, I tell you, हर रोज, the first obstacle I faced, patent, कि कोई आइडिया नहीं
तो
ले ले.
पेटेंट आपने पहले अप्लाई किया या पहले प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च किया?
पहले पेटेंट के लिए अप्लाई किया.
अच्छा, बट ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए था कि पहले आप एक बारी प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च करके देख तो लो आपका प्रोडक्ट चल रहा है या नहीं है, या कैसा, मतलब व्हाई डिड यू गो टू?
सो मैं बताता हूँ आपको. I had an internship in Lady Harding Medical College, and I had a CSIR internship.
अच्छा.
At those internships, I gained a very fond, thing for nutrition. So at one of those internships, I studied SattuFusion. I studied the protein content. I ran the right tests and
And when was
infrared
it?
spectroscopy.
What age were you at that time?
I was just had turned 15. This was I think last year or last year.
Fine.
Around middle of the year. And when I was researching this, that's when I realized that I can actually patent this, क्योंकि ये कभी हुआ नहीं है कि you have sattu and brown rice protein. So what happens is कि amino acids होते हैं protein that are made of.
Yeah.
तो सत्तू में there are 17 amino acids. Okay, out of those 17 amino acids, you need certain essential amino acids that help you build muscle. Now, because those that Sattu lacked those essential amino acids, I needed to get some sort of protein with it.
Yeah.
Like brown rice protein. I did go and test के pea protein try कर लेता हूँ, other substitutes try कर लेता हूँ, isolates try कर लेता हूँ. None of them worked because the cost was too high. That's when I found brown rice protein and Sattu. I combined those two to get a complete protein. That way you can build muscle using a complete protein. Otherwise, Sattu causes bloating. Sattu, you can't have in great amounts because it's not a complete protein. तो क्या हुआ, when I made this, I decided कि let me patent this because this is something, very ahead of its time. जब मैंने patent किया, I realized कि, patenting से तो कुछ नहीं होगा. एथलीट्स को मैं, पैरा एथलीट्स को मैं दे रहा हूँ हर हफ्ते, कुछ नहीं होने वाला. आई नीड टू टेक दिस.
मतलब ये थोड़ा एक्सप्लेन करो, मतलब यू.
So I'm going back to my journey here.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's okay. You keep shuffling back. It's a journey. Yeah.
So as I was training with football, my sister is also an athlete.
Okay.
So I used to go and pick her up from training. तो मैं ऐसे देख के, I used to see para athletes train करते थे, humble backgrounds with lots of devotion, lots of devotion. And I just said that, मैंने इतना weight lose किया है, मैंने इतना किया है nutrition के साथ, why don't I go, give my helping hand out to them. And when I gave my helping hand out to them, started making meal plans for them, I said, let me take this to the next level. Because क्या हुआ that I was able to support them, but again, cost was a very big issue. There was not a cheap protein available, and athletes need that protein. That's when I decided, I have this patented formula, I'm gonna give it to them and, see whether they like it or not. So at the starting phase, the starting trial phase of testing the product, they were the people who tried it first. And they went on to win the Para-Asian Games.
Acha.
So that I'm so grateful for, and the fact that they were able to use it to their advantage, get the right amount of protein. I think from there on, I decided that I wanted to launch this and turn this something big.
You briefly talked about very technical details of protein and all. इसमें थोड़ा सा और बात कर सकते हैं 2 मिनट के, मतलब हम भी अभी प्रोटीन शेक लेते हैं, ये मतलब कुछ पता नहीं होता है, तो मुझे अब पता लगा कि 17 amino acids or whatever. Seriously, I have no idea about it.
I'd love to.
Let's educate our
audience,
followers.
of course.
Obviously.
I'd love to. So what happens is कि protein is something that we all need. अब मैं बताता हूँ क्यों. When we work out, any sort of exercise that we do, small muscle fibers break down in our arms.
Yeah.
In our arms, if I'm training my arms. Now to rebuild these small muscle fibers, I need some sort of protein that goes into my body. And to rebuild this muscle, that's how you gain muscle overall. तो मैंने realize किया कि इंडिया में protein energy malnutrition बहुत है. Protein energy malnutrition is people are getting food. I can get मैं दाल हर रोज़ खा लेता हूँ. I can get चावल every day. That's still food, right? But I will get diseases like kwashiorkor, marasmus, knocked knees, because these are protein deficiency diseases. India में बहुत होता है. So that's when I started researching about this. When I started researching about this, that's where SattuFusion, really stood out. I thought that, I needed to do something in protein. I'm already helping these para athletes. I needed to make something that truly impacts not only these para athletes, but athletes in general, the whole India populace. We think, I'm pretty sure you have dal chawal every day. You've had it as a child as well. I've had dal chawal every day. Now what we don't realize is that उसमें protein है ही नहीं. Now people may believe that dal has protein. No, it has more carbs than protein. We have roti, which is again carbs. We are not getting enough protein in our diets. And India is one of the biggest contributors to protein and energy malnutrition in the whole world. Now to fix this, I realized that protein तो चाहिए. Now, अब protein कहाँ से लाए? Now you look in the market, 8,000 rupees for this big can of protein.
Yeah.
Now, how am I supposed to get my protein if I'm not from a very wealthy place?
Yeah.
If I'm not too privileged, that's where SattuFusion came along. It had to be cost effective. It had to be the right amount of protein, and it had to really make sure that I'm looking at the scientific aspect to it. I can appeal to my audience, बोल दिया कि हाँ vegan है. I can say that it's so versatile. You get the right amount of protein like any other one. But it needed to be cost effective. It needed to reach out to India, help India. So that's when I feel that going into the scientific aspect, reaching out to my audience, reaching out to the people who will buy it. That's where SattuFusion's success story started.
You're talking about all those marketing fundas जो कि B स्कूल में पढ़ाए जाते हैं, या जब आप अपनी एक स्केल अप स्टार्टअप या कंपनी करते हो कि it has to be cost effective, it has to have a right distribution network, and obviously the product has to talk about its benefit.
Exactly.
Because एक बारी अगर किसी ने खरीद लिया और दूसरी बारी नहीं खरीदा तो उसका फेलियर है, प्रोडक्ट का फेलियर है, क्योंकि आप एक बारी पुश सेल कर सकते हो, दूसरी बारी नहीं कर सकते. सो प्रोडक्ट एक्चुअली हैज़ टू विन. बहुत कहाँ सीखे ये सारी टेक्निक्स, मतलब वेयर डिड यू लर्न दिस? स्कूल में तो नहीं पढ़ाया जाता होगा यार.
स्कूल में तो मैं डाइविंग इनटू ये कौन सा मार्केट है, वो कौन सा मार्केट है, बट आई फील दैट अ लॉट ऑफ इट इज comes from within, honestly speaking. It has to come from within. You're gonna have to sit and watch those YouTube videos. You're gonna have to reach out for that advice. You're gonna have to look at entrepreneurs that you see around you. I was fortunate enough to reach out to one who was able to mentor me and guide me, saying you need to do these things, you need to do these things, you need to make the profit margin this much. And I think that he was always there to help me. But the fact that I was able to reach out, the fact that I was able to drop that urgency that I want to do this and you need to help me. Otherwise, I don't think so you would have been kind enough to help me. I did have to go myself to these labs, test out my product. That came from within, and I feel that it's not only my passion that drove me, it's the fact that I worked hard towards it. I put in that time. Product launch karne mein, I can't launch it in 2 weeks. It's going to take time. So I sat, patented it, I did the scientific testing, I made sure I got my FSSAI license. All of those things take time, and you need to learn these things from various sources around you. If you look, you'll find it. पर look तो करना पड़ेगा ना. First step तो लेना पड़ेगा. You need to go out there, put yourself out there, see what all can I use. And I think through that only, a lot of YouTube was used. You have AI nowadays. Honestly speaking, मैं खुद Canva पे with my sister, I asked AI. I said, what would make a vegan protein powder that appeals to a very cost-effective manner? What should it resemble in the design? So it said, make it green, make it flashy, make it this way. And I incorporated that. So you have AI, you have such amazing tools nowadays, you have YouTube, you have online platforms, you have an infinite access to information, and you have the people around you. So 3 of these things are more than enough to teach you on your own. And not just that, if I can do it while managing football and my academics, why can't the person sitting on the other side of this?
No, but that's the difficult part. But as a student, being 15-year-old kid, if I can call you kid, as a kid, as a student, कभी आई एम श्योर बहुत बार ऐसा होता होगा यार, लोग सीरियस नहीं लेते होंगे कि क्या बोल रहे हो यार.
100%.
मतलब आई नो यू लुक टॉलर, यू लुक बट स्टिल बोलते हो यार बच्चा है यार, तू कैसे, मतलब व्हाट आर यू टॉकिंग अबाउट, जाके कुछ फुटबॉल खेल ले ना. सो हाउ डू यू, मतलब ऐसी सिचुएशंस आई और क्या किया उस सिचुएशन में?
So I'm gonna I'd love to share this honestly. It's a very good question. Problems हैं. Usually लोग journey share कर लेते हैं, they say success, कोई problem ही नहीं बात करता. So when I realized that people weren't taking me seriously, you're absolutely right. I'd gone to multiple investors actually. I'd said
investors, acha.
And multiple marketing agencies saying that why don't you market my product? And I'd gone to multiple of them and said that can you help me out? I'm going to launch it on Amazon. I need to do this. In fact, I'd reached out to the football camps that are around my neighborhood. They host Sunday matches. तो वहाँ पे जाता था and said कि मैं एक stall setup कर लूँ. यहाँ पे Gatorade के stall हैं, यहाँ पे energy drink के stall हैं. You have your food stall selling all healthy snacks. Why can't I? I'm also doing the same thing. So I used to go and I'd written so many emails. So it was rejection upon rejection. The marketing, agencies were like, you don't have any sales yet. You're a 16-year-old kid. You barely have anything going for you. You focus on school. They said we're not able to give this opportunity to you. I used to go to those matches. They used to say that, you're just a kid, like you said. And that's when I realized, agar product hai, so it doesn't matter my age. So I reshifted my focus. I reshifted it. I decided कि product पे ध्यान देना. I focused on my product, got the FSSAI license, made sure that it was out on Amazon, got my first number of sales, 50 sales in the first 2 weeks itself. I made more than 30,000 in the first 2 weeks. I feel that accomplishment with the fact that I focused on the product itself, then came the opportunities. Then in fact, after writing these mails, I used to be left के cold emails हो गए, जवाब भी नहीं देते थे. Now I was getting mails saying please come, we're going to give you a stall. In fact, in Humayun's tomb, there's this Sunday marketplace
Yeah,
that
yeah,
happens.
yeah, yeah.
So they had also given me this opportunity. So the first time I'd gone, I'm like, can I please set up a stall? And he'd given me his card. And he said that, tum set up kar lena. So then I contacted him. Ke, oh, today is Saturday. Why don't I come tomorrow and set up a stall? No, why should I? But then when I realized the product was so good, I showed them. I said, ये cost effective है.
Yeah.
तुम ढूंढ के बता दो कोई other protein powder source
Yeah.
that is at this price provides you with this amount of protein, this amount of nutrition. So he was left, flabbergasted. He was like, no, you're absolutely right. So when you show that your product is actually worth, they will give you that opportunity. They don't have that option only. They'll be like, we're most welcome to have you. But you need to put that time and effort into your product as well, no? You need to prove the authenticity, get those licenses, get the patenting done, and get the design aspect as well. It takes
okay,
time.
let's talk about when you're saying, so guys, this is his product. Looks clean, looks very, I will say, it appeals के यार ये ना flashy नहीं है जैसा तुमने बोला, ये बहुत authentic लग रहा है. So ये AI ने बनाया?
ये AI ने नहीं बनाया, मेरी बहन ने बनाया.
अरे वाह, क्या बात
My
है.
sister wants to get into design, so I'm like, she's younger than me.
She's younger than you.
She is younger than me.
क्या बात है यार. So it runs in the family क्या?
Yes. In fact, कि मैंने,
अच्छा, so Vivaan and Samaira.
Yes, I've mentioned her in the co-founders.
Co-founders. अरे वाह, अच्छा.
क्योंकि अगर जितनी भी हेल्प की हुई, हेल्प तो किया है एंड में.
Yeah.
And I feel that, she helped me with the design aspect. Sometimes I come home late. I have a lot of assignments due. She'll make the packet.
How old is she?
She just turned 13.
यार क्या बात कर रहे हो यार. 13 साल और 16 साल में मैं और मेरी बहन भी मेरे से 4 साल छोटी है. हम तो सिर्फ लड़ते रहते थे और वेट करते थे कि कब मम्मी पापा
लड़ाई
आए
भी होती
और
है.
हम उनको कंप्लेंट करें.
लड़ाई भी होती है. I fought with her about the packaging. I said, make it the best of your ability. उसका ना, she wants to watch TV. She wants to do this. She has her
अरे यार
athletics.
13 साल की है तो अभी खेलेगी और टीवी नहीं
She has her athletics. She is representing India as well. She recently went to Serbia to represent India. So she didn't have time.
Guys, are you serious? Both of you play athletics, represent India, students, or how many packets on an average? 250, 200 packets you have started selling a month?
This is my first month and already 157
On
packets
Amazon.
have been sold.
But other than Amazon, also you have been selling to various.
So other sources include Rajiv Gandhi Cancer Institute.
Okay.
They do get 25 to 30 packets.
Okay.
And the pediatricians and cancer, is the people undergoing cancer therapy, they do receive SattuFusion packets from the hospital itself. So they do get that as well. The para athletes continue to still get it. And other sources include, so one thing I should tell you honestly, I'm coming clean here. All the proceeds from Amazon go to a food kitchen. मैं रखता नहीं हूँ.
अच्छा.
All proceeds that I make from Amazon go directly to a food kitchen. Okay. They go and feed kids all around Delhi, Faridabad, Noida, and all of this includes all the money that I get from Amazon. They go to these cloud kitchens and they feed around 600 or 700 kids a week.
करना क्या चाहते हो तुम? What do you what's your goal?
I'm glad you asked. To help. सच में.
यार ये ना सब
SattuFusion.
बोलते हैं यार, सब बोलते हैं. हर entrepreneur यही बोलता है कि मैं to help I'll still want to believe you because you are young. I'm sure.
चलो इतना इंसिस्ट कर रहे हो तो मैं बता ही देता हूँ. To help, and in all honesty, if I'm able to do this much with what I have right now, imagine what I can do with the correct amount of scaling. SattuFusion के साथ I can fight not only the fact that this norm that children cannot be an entrepreneur, at young age you cannot be an entrepreneur, but also the fact I can help India overall. I already spoke about protein, energy, malnutrition. It's a very big thing in India, honestly. So many people suffer. And if SattuFusion is that good of a product that it's done so well already, what's stopping it from doing more? So, like I said, goal is to take it to the next level. Now, when I say the next level, that line is a bit blurry because I don't know where it can go. I have that much faith in my product. But in all honesty, I still feel that, I do want to scale it to the next level. I'm still going to continue putting in that effort. I will be going off to college next year.
So you'll continue with your studies also?
Continue with my studies, pursue my studies, and but pursue SattuFusion as well. It's too close to my heart not to.
एंड स्टडीज करते करते हायर एजुकेशन जब कर रहे हो यू आर अ ब्राइट किड यार मतलब यू आर मल्टीटास्कर यू हैव अचीव्ड सो मच आई एम 100% श्योर चांसेस आर कि यू मे गेट लेट्स से 50 लाख की जॉब 60 लाख की जॉब एंड बहुत अच्छा है यार अच्छी लाइफ रहोगे सैटरडे संडे छुट्टी मिलेगी
बिल्कुल
स्टेबल होगा बढ़िया होगा तो फिर भी एक हार्ड स्ट्रगल करना है जहाँ पे लोग बोलेंगे यार अभी तो तुम 16 के हो 18 के हो 20 के हो
यार honestly tell you that 50 lakh job is a 50 lakh job. You're going to do well, you're going to get that pay, you're going to have that job satisfaction. हाँ job कर रहा हूँ, I'm getting the right amount of money, I'm living my life. But purpose है. I made such a good product. I put all that effort into it as a child, and when I grow up I'm going to look back at it with regret. एक चीज़ है मुझे regret नहीं होना. Regret होगा तो that will be very bad. If I can take SattuFusion, when the day I think that SattuFusion has reached, its maximum potential, I will stop. But I need to reach it first. So until I reach that position, I won't, job may be a worse job, but can I focus on my passion more and have more time to focus on SattuFusion? Yes, I do have that time. And I just feel that, if I can take it to the level that I have right now, what is stopping me from taking it to the next level when I'm that age? When I have that experience in college, gotten my higher education, when I'm able to, explore many new opportunities. So with
so
that,
let's talk about a hypothetical problem. Let's assume you have reached that age, whatever that is, 3 साल 4 साल 5 साल यहाँ से you have decent sales also, and you have a full blown team. ठीक है आपके पास न्यूट्रिशियंस भी हैं साइंटिस्ट भी हैं सप्लाई चेन वाले भी हैं like I think you have figured it out but still what would be that one large problem you would want your team to solve for
मैंने आपको बताया था protein energy malnutrition in India. अब I am selling SattuFusion and it's helping combat it, but at a scale too small. Hypothetically, I have my team. We are, distributing it all over India. I'm making enough money to, subsidize my own good and make sure that I'm taking it to the next level in terms of expanding operations, selling packets, distributing packets through as many places as I can, rural areas, to prevent protein energy malnutrition. But at the end of the day, I can still do more globally. Asia may contribute to the largest amount of protein energy malnutrition. But globally, there is still a lot of protein energy malnutrition. There is still a lot of people.
But इसमें तो बहुत competition होगा ना. Already there must be a lot of players. So, मतलब, what are the strengths of other large players?
So
there are so many D2C brands who have come
I
into
love this question. I love this question. I'm so glad you asked. Recently, I'd participated in a Blue Ocean competition, entrepreneurship competition. It was a online virtual pitch with the largest competition, virtual entrepreneurship competition in the world, and in that it basically talked about blue ocean strategies and a red ocean crowded market. Like you said, ab ye to bahut replacements ho gaye na. And out of 12,900 participants, 6,000 schools and 163 countries, I was the only Indian person to get top 10.
Top 10 only Indian among 12,000 participants.
Yes.
Wow, congratulations.
0.07% I went into that competition to get the top 10 and I have got the top 10. So now let me tell you why I got that top 10. In a red ocean market, you have protein isolates. They give you so much protein, barely any calories. They are, protein isolates in terms of whey, which has a higher protein content with SattuFusion. So
by the way, मैं whey ही लेता हूँ.
वही तो. अब मैं बता दूंगा क्यों SattuFusion उससे ज़्यादा अच्छा है. Whey protein has a lot of negative side effects that people are unaware of. Whey protein may use hormones. Whey protein may have additives. Even pea protein may have additives. May have certain. So there's to prevent clumping of the powder, they add certain additives. To maintain a certain sweet, they add artificial flavor. To maintain a certain amount of sweetness or how you like it, maintain a certain amount of consistency. They're all additives. They are all added, on top of what is naturally there. Whey protein also causes a lot of acne. It puts significant pressure on the kidneys. Now look at SattuFusion. It is 1/8 the cost. It is tasteless, odorless, meaning that there is no taste, there is no additives. It's completely natural. It's made of only 2 ingredients, and it's giving you the same amount of protein. Now you are getting the same thing, but without the negative consequences. I feel that if you are getting that, which person would not buy it? And when you look at even buying it, I feel that when a consumer does buy it, they are likely to buy it again, because protein is something they will need their whole life.
But tell me, I'm assuming it is not that you are the first person to figure out the negative, you know, things of the whey or other protein companies. किसी और ने क्यों नहीं स्केल किया और सोचा इसको?
तो क्या
और जब
होता
उससे पहले, let's talk about the ingredients and how do you source these ingredients?
So, before we get on to why others haven't done
Yeah.
it, मैं पहले बता देता हूँ. SattuFusion is very simple. I'd explain the scientific aspect of it, how I got SattuFusion, brown rice protein and Sattu.
Yeah.
Now, when I look at it, how I get this. Brown rice protein and both Sattu, they both come naturally from the Ganga basin. That is the most fertile soil and supporting the farmers. So I did, when in the start of SattuFusion's production, I go straight to these farmers and I did check it out once, because I need, if I'm making a product that good, I need to have the right ingredients as well. You can't make such an amazing product, then ingredients kahin se bhi la rahi ho, and then no one's gonna buy it again. So I did go, and Sattu that I get, it's usually people call it chickpea powder.
Yeah.
Now what happens is they don't realize that there's a difference between chickpea and Bengal gram.
Okay.
What I source is Bengal gram.
Okay.
So it is chickpea powder inherently, but specifically from the Ganga basin that comes from the most fertile soil and is supporting these farmers is Bengal gram that is roasted without any additives. It is roasted and sent for production. And same with the brown rice powder. It comes directly. There is no additives added. In fact, I wish I could share sometimes when they come, you will find it. When I get it in the truck, you can smell the truck only. It's so natural. You can smell the earth. Sattu और brown rice protein का ज़्यादा smell नहीं आता. Like you can't really differentiate the smell, but you can smell the earth. And that's when I realized that now I've done the product aspect, I've got the source as well. Now it's time to combine and make it successful. And I just feel that, you're identifying the right source. So in the testing phase of SattuFusion, I did go through multiple sources. So I'd love to share that I did try out pea protein, whey protein, all these isolates to combine with SattuFusion, make it into like this proprietary mix. And mix with Sattu, because Sattu was that main thing that I had, but I needed those other amino acids. But when I realized that I'm not getting this from a natural source, Sattu mera natural hai, but then whey additives aa rahe hain, ye taste aa raha hai, who knows where it's coming from. I again decided to go through that natural route and get this natural protein. And I think the fact that SattuFusion is only 2 ingredients, no additives, no hormones, no taste enhancers, no sweeteners, and the cost that it comes at while being vegan is what makes it special. Now you were asking, in a red ocean market, which is a crowded market, you have so many competitors, you have someone who's probably thought of this before, why haven't they pursued it? Now they can pursue it, and they have pursued it. They have brought down the cost of original whey protein, which is 8,000 rupees, down to 3,000 rupees, which is they made an all natural source. It's called a blend or whatever. It's 3,000 rupees. 3,000 rupees is still a lot for an average income Indian family. You have to make a protein powder that supports even those lower income sections. In fact, they're the ones who are going to need it most. Someone who is extremely rich and very privileged is going to buy the best protein out there. They're going to buy something that they can afford. They can get it. But people who are suffering from protein energy malnutrition in those lower sections of the economy, they aren't able to afford it. And they need that protein. And when you realize that they're able to get that protein at such a cheap cost, 500 grams for 500 rupees, that's when you realize that SattuFusion is something that hasn't been done before.
जिस मार्केट में अब तुम खेल रहे हो, यू नो, यहाँ पे दो चीज़ें हैं. एक तो प्लेयर्स हैं जो कि एक एडवर्टाइज कर रहे हैं या एक हाई प्राइस पॉइंट प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च कर रहे हैं, और यू नो अगेन यू आर अ यंग स्टिल फिगरिंग आउट विद द नेचुरल इंग्रेडिएंट्स. ट्रस्ट बिल्ड करना, क्योंकि अभी तुमने एक लाइन बोली कि यार हु नोज के ये इंग्रेडिएंट कहाँ से आते हैं, ये सेम विल अप्लाई टू यू ऑल्सो.
100%.
ठीक है, आज तो चलो ठीक है तुम सिर्फ 200 250 300 पैकेट्स ही महीने के बेच रहे हो, बट कल यू नो 2000 5000 10,000 पैकेट्स बेचोगे, यू विल ऑल्सो स्केल. क्वालिटी कंट्रोल है कि नहीं है, तो वो ट्रस्ट कैसे बिल्ड करो. शुरू में तो ठीक है, बट जब स्केल करो उसके बारे में सोचा है या कैसे करोगे, मतलब बिकॉज दैट्स गोना बी वेरी डिफिकल्ट.
No, I agree with you. I think that first trust is established. I think the fact that it was established through proper licensing, proper testing, you've got FSSAI licensing done for SattuFusion, allowing it to be sold as a food product on Amazon. You have got lab testing done from a lab that's accredited by NABL and APEDA. So the fact that it's been tested by these labs beyond getting an FSSAI license is what provides the consumer with that security that SattuFusion is something I can eat in the purest form. So what happens is, if you look at the packet, पीछे एक QR code होता है.
Yeah, I saw that. वहाँ पे लिखा था कि lab tests.
So that QR code leads directly to the website of the lab test. So now if you wish to scan it, you can directly see that what I'm giving you is what I mean. And that authenticity is going to be there on every packet. So that's what allows, you know, I feel that, you know, even in the first month, this success that I've achieved is because, you know, I did tell, ki, you know, family and friends, you know, WhatsApp pe bhej diya, please buy it, please buy it, please buy it. They buy it once. I've seen it happen also. They buy it once, they're going to stop.
Yeah.
What are you going to do consistently for those sales? They need to like the product. So when they see that authenticity, they see the uniqueness of the product, and they see that it's actually doing something good, I think they'll definitely buy it again. So it's really important that you're transparent with your consumer.
Yeah, fair, no. So कहाँ सीखा यार ये सारे jargons, ये framework, authenticity, love with the customer. Do you have mentors? Have you taken some course? कहाँ पे?
So I think the biggest tool you have now is one, your AI.
Yeah.
And two, the internet.
Yeah.
Most of what I'm using now, most of what I learn, it's mostly coming from the information that you get online.
Fair.
Honestly, I feel that, you know, without Google and without my chat GPT, ये होता ही नहीं. As much effort I've put into it, those nuances, yaar, even for the simplest things, you can ask AI. You know, you can ask it for advice. Don't, ये मत करना कि मेरा पूरा product AI बनाएगा. That's गलत. Ask it for advice. Go to your Google, search up, how do I advertise my product? What differentiates my product? Just ask and just do your research. सब मिल जाएगा. Then again, reach out to the people that you find, you know, successful in their field. You look at entrepreneurs, reach out to them. Who knows, maybe they'll lend a helping hand. If you know someone, you know, who's doing their business, who owns a business, you know, ask them, say, what can I do with this? What help, you know, can you give me? Do you think I should take a decision in terms of marketing it in a nutritional aspect or a protein supplement aspect, or, you know, as a nutritional additive? Like, those kind of nuances come from the fact that, you know, go put in that effort, go get out there and, you know, get that information online using the tools that you have nowadays. Even things like designing the thing. I told you, my sister designed it. Yeah. We did it on Canva.
Yeah.
Canva. You have all these tools nowadays. Put them to use.
You talked about also when we were chatting on the sidelines that you got to meet and spend some time with Kunal Bahal. For many of us, including myself, he's an inspiration. One of the most prolific early investors of the country. Obviously now he comes on Shark Tank also. कैसे मिले, क्या मतलब, how do you draw that inspiration when you meet him? What did he tell you?
So, he has been one of the most monumental figures in this whole journey, in this whole process. He has inspired me, not only inspired me, but guided me as well. And मेरी पहली मुलाकात उनके साथ हुई थी in a library, actually.
Library.
Yes.
Okay.
So I
यार
was.
हर you're like that onion man. हर एक लाइन में कुछ कुछ नई चीज बताते रहते हो. ये what is this library now?
So I was doing a fundraiser,
Okay.
and during that fundraiser, I done a lot of activities. I was the organizer. We done a lot of activities to raise money to build a library for the underprivileged. And when I'd this was kind of like my first step into entrepreneurship. You're looking at crowdfunding. So when I built that library for the underprivileged children, I met him there, as he had helped with the fundraising aspect as well. And the fact that he inspired me in that moment allowed me to reach out to him. I had multiple interactions with him at the library, of course. But then, when I was doing this whole SattuFusion journey, I felt that, there were a lot of roadblocks. There are times where you feel like giving up. There are times you feel that, what am I going to do? It's impossible to overcome this challenge. And that's when you reach out. And that's when I reached out. I asked him to give me some time. We connected. And he truly inspired me in terms of the advice he gave as well. In that moment, I asked him about what I should do, how I should take it forward, what is the success possibilities of SattuFusion, and the fact that he was able to provide me with such amazing insight, and the fact that he was able to predict what it's gonna be like. I'm so grateful, and I feel that if you have people like this in your life, you should never forget them.
Yeah. No, definitely. यार एक चीज़ तो क्लियर है, तुम नॉर्मल नहीं हो यार. यू आर नॉट अ नॉर्मल गाय. तो आई एम श्योर तुम्हारे फ्रेंड्स जो क्लास में हैं या तुम्हारे साथ फुटबॉल खेलते हैं बहुत चिढ़ाते होंगे, या मस्ट बी जेलस ऑफ यू. सम ऑफ देम ऑब्वियसली विल बी योर फ्रेंड्स ऑल्सो. बट हाउ डू यू डील विद इट? और मतलब बोलते तो यार क्या करता रहता है यार, हमेशा देखो कुछ ना कुछ बोलता रहता है. मैं कुणाल बहल से मिल के आया, मैं नेशनल खेलने जा रहा हूँ, अमेजोन पे हूँ, पॉडकास्ट पे हूँ. तो अच्छा है, बुरा है, कैसा है?
बुरा है, अच्छा है, दोनों है. I think they call me names. They say that you never spend time with us. तुम childhood है तुम्हारा, जियो तुम. Make your childhood memorable. You're sitting and doing all this. You stop playing football. Sometimes you take a break. You don't come for dinner. They call me all sorts of names, and they call me Sattu boy. What they're saying, what is this joke that you started on the side? You're gonna get that. But the fact is, deal with it. Show them through your success. Show them through that effort you put in. School में during my free, so I'm studying in the international curriculum. You have 1 hour free during your day. It's your free period. You usually get it. My friends and all, they say that you should have fun and everything. A lot of people, they say that you should spend. Relax in that 1 hour. Go to the canteen, ice cream खा लो, YouTube देख लो, मज़े कर लो, बात कर लो दोस्त से. No, even in those 1 hours, I used to sit and work on SattuFusion, something or the other. Maybe I'm reaching out to another, opportunity to present my product. Maybe I'm doing another test. Maybe I'm applying for another competition. Maybe I'm trying to win another award. So all these things, they add up. They take a toll on you. But the success that you feel, the fact that you put in that time, you put in that effort through all that hate, they don't say it out of that they actually hate you. They say it because you're doing something that's not normal.
Yeah.
And when you get that feeling, that gratification of you finally done something, like seeing those first few sales on Amazon, or even being invited here, for example, it's like it truly, you forget all the things they said. It just brings a smile to your face.
No, yeah, no. It's. I think it's your success, your persistence. I think that matters, and that's what I was telling you also. कि यार start करना एक बहुत important step होता है, and you will obviously see lot of roadblocks when you scale, when you go and distribute it. और अभी तो जब distribution करोगे, costs को ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा. So cost के ऊपर बात करते हैं. अभी what's the unit economics? क्या है कितने में? How do you manage that?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, SattuFusion started off as a nutritional supplement due to its, cost efficiency. And I definitely started with a cost that is, it's crazy. No one is keeping a 50 to 60% profit margin on their product, especially in the food industry. And I feel that, the fact that it is cost effective, it takes a toll on the amount of revenue that you're going to get off the product. It's gonna cost you almost more than half, if not half, to produce the product. You're gonna barely make any money of it. But the fact that if you look at that cost and turn it into an advantage is what you have to do. You look at that cost and say that, I'm keeping the cost low. I'm keeping that, 500 grams is 500 rupees. When I look at 500 grams as 500 rupees compared to a traditional protein powder, I can officially say that mine is the cheapest. When you say it is the cheapest, people will buy it. People will say that, if it's the cheapest, they will buy it. That's how price and demand works.
But is it right? Matlab, you're right, it's the cheapest, but I think it should also serve its purpose also. It should not only be the cheapest, because sometimes cheapest is not the best.
I 100%
हाँ.
agree. So, what happens is, because SattuFusion is a nutritional supplement, it is not your primary source of nutrition. You add it to dals, you add it to roti, you add it to smoothies, you add it to your wraps. You're adding it. You're not using it. Meaning, sattu खाओगे
लिया
के
तो
तो
रो-
तुम what
रोटी
will
नहीं,
you do?
हाँ.
You're adding it. You're using it as a nutritional supplement. Now, at that cost, it's serving its purpose, one. And second thing, at that low cost, you're able to serve its purpose at the best possible way because you're only keeping ingredients natural. We have so many vegan households. They don't eat any protein, but the fact they're able to get that protein is the functionality of the product. Now, while I'm keeping the cost low and making sure that functionality is there, it's fine that I'm keeping the cost low. If I was keeping the cost at 500 and sacrificing on the fact that, I'm not adding the right ingredients, then it would be wrong. But the fact I'm keeping the functionality, its versatility, and its applicability there, I think that's what allows people to, buy it and trust it as a product.
Great, yeah, great. I think I have just one last question for you, which is largely आप लोग Gen Z हो? क्योंकि ये
Gen Z.
चीज Gen Z है.
Gen Z.
What are the misconceptions or एक point of view बन जाता है adults का, and adults could be people like me, people like your teachers, faculties, your parents, relatives, कि यार ये Gen Z तो whimsical है यार, ये तो आज कुछ कर रहा है कल कुछ करेगा, या और क्या misconceptions है जो adults build for Gen Z or especially people like you?
So, Gen Z के लिए एक बड़ा nefarious term रखा हुआ है
Which is?
कि they don't decide. इनको पता नहीं है क्या करना
क्या
है.
करना है? या
They look, parents, not just parents, everyone in the world, say that, तुम्हें पता नहीं है कि तुम्हें क्या करना है. They look at it as a bad thing. What they need to look at it is as a good thing. Because when you don't know what you want to do, you spark your curiosity and you make sure that you chase what you actually want to do. And I feel that, because I hadn't decided what I wanted to do, I was able to take this to the next level because I had that hunger to know what I wanted to do. Now, people say कि अगर मुझे डॉक्टर बनना है तो मैं डॉक्टर ही बनूंगा. Parents look at it like that. If I don't want to be a doctor, यार, let it be. Like, you're not going to become a doctor if you don't like what you do. And that is the biggest misconception. And I feel that, people like you who have taken their time out and, given me this amazing opportunity and granted me with something that I can never forget. Because, like I said, in the early stages of SattuFusion, the people that, present you with the biggest opportunities, you can never forget them. And I'll definitely not be forgetting this. And I feel that, for you, forgetting that misconception of Gen Z people and saying that, he's done something, he doesn't have that thing, that इसको तो पता नहीं क्या करना है. He's not someone who doesn't know what he wants to do. This is bad. Thank you for forgetting about that and giving me this opportunity.
नहीं नहीं यार,
So,
वो ऐसा
thank you
कुछ
so
नहीं
much,
है.
genuinely.
It's as I tell everyone that I personally believe that students should pursue entrepreneurship as their first career choice because it teaches you
100%.
so much. It teaches you
It
so
teaches
much.
you an infinite number of
Yeah,
things. I
मतलब और
agree.
उसके बाद अगर नहीं चला तो नहीं चला, इट इज़ ओके. मतलब गो एंड परस्यू योर हायर एजुकेशन, डू अ जॉब, आप उससे ज़्यादा सक्सेसफुल हो गए. आज हम अपनी कंपनीज में वी टेक एक वर्ड है विच शुड नॉट बी, इट्स कॉल्ड फेल्ड एंटरप्रेन्योर. वो फेल्ड कह लो या ट्राइड कह लो, कुछ भी कह लो, बट एक किसी ने एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप ट्राई किया ना दिल लगा के, उसने फाइनेंस भी पढ़ा है, एचआर भी पढ़ा है, मार्केटिंग भी पढ़ा है, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन भी पढ़ा है, सब कुछ पढ़ा है. तो आई हैव अ डीप रिस्पेक्ट फॉर people and especially student entrepreneurs. Thank you, Vivaan, and to your sister who's a co-founder, Sumaira, and your family especially, to actually inspire. I really pray to the God and wish that बहुत बड़ा मूवमेंट बने ये. एंड it's okay if you do not only win, you create a category where you find lot of other also players to come, because आप अकेले नहीं जीत सकते हो. You get the whole ecosystem for you to win. So my heartiest wishes to you. Do well.
Thank you so
Really
much.
glad to be here.
I am so glad for this opportunity once again. Thank you so much. From the bottom of my heart, I still feel that, thank you so much for this. And, it's truly wonderful that you've had me here.
Thank you, Vivaan. Thank you. So, guys, this is the SattuFusion packaging, and again, unique, lovely, authentic. कई बार क्या होता है, आपको आइडियाज़ आते हैं, बट ये आइडिया नहीं है, एक्चुअली प्रोडक्ट है. अगर आप इसकी बैक एंड पे देखेंगे ना, सारी डिटेल्स हैं यार. एंड वट इज़ लवली टू सी हेयर, टू बी ऑनेस्ट, इट्स नॉट ओनली विवान्स नेम बट his younger sister Sumaira, which actually is making me very proud, which is she's just 13 years old. Obviously, as Vivaan was largely saying कि ये vegan है, lactose free है, trans fat free है. What is, बहुत छोटी छोटी चीज़ें हैं जो विवान ने बात की. इम्पैक्ट के बारे में बात की, फार्मर कम्युनिटी के बारे में बात की. बहुत एक और अच्छी बात उसने की कि अभी के लिए ही अगर इफ़ यू लिसन टू हिज स्टोरी, ही हैज़ टॉक्ड अबाउट क्या जो भी रेवेन्यू जनरेट हो रहा है वो क्लाउड किचन पे रन कर रहा है. काफ़ी सही स्टोरी है यार. आई एम टच्ड. सो गाइज, स्टूडेंट फाउंडर्स aren't waiting for their degrees. They are actually building products. And Vivaan and Sumaira, they are the real example. And forget about MBA and engineering degree. They are yet to get their 12th class degree, 10th class degrees. Okay. So if you are anyone such founder or aspiring one, please reach out to us. We would love to host you. This is just not a podcast. This is actually our passion. This is a startup movement. I want every student to be an entrepreneur. So please do follow, share, like, and share it with all your friends and communities and spread this movement. Thank you.